Hey guys, it's Lando from the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm here to talk to you about the breaking news that is Leveon Bell getting signed to the Kansas City Chiefs. This is big news in the fantasy industry and has a ton of fantasy implications. So I'm going to do my best today to go through every aspect of it, where I see Leveon Bell kind of shaking out right now, where I see edwards-helaire shaking out, and what we do maybe with the Jets running back game. I don't know. We'll talk about it all. We'll go through it all. And if you have any more questions, drop it in the comments below. We'll answer every single one. If you're looking to maybe trade Leveon Bell, maybe you're looking to trade for Leveon, maybe you're looking to trade away Clyde Edwards-Helaire or trade for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, drop it in the comments. We'll do our best to answer every single one and give you our take on what you should or shouldn't do in fantasy football for 2020. Well, right now, Clyde Edwards was taken on average at the 105. So this is going to be a tough spot for anyone that traded for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He is now probably, at best case scenario, a fringe running back one. This will bring down his ceiling, no question about it. Leveon was taken in the middle of the third round this year, but right around running back 12. This even though this is the best case scenario for Leveon Bell, and he went to the best offense in the NFL with the best quarterback in the NFL, I still don't think he has top 12 running back ceiling. I think realistically, he is going to be right around running back 9 or 16. 16, he'd be running back 16. I haven't done full projections yet, but I would say he has definitely. So I mean, where he got drafted this year was a little bit high, and what he's done so far hasn't shown that he's an elite back. But Andy Reid is one of the best play callers in the NFL, and I do believe that there could be two running backs that are viable and startable in fantasy football with Clyde Edwards and Leveon Bell. This is a crazy landing spot. It's best case scenario for Leveon. If you own him in dynasty leagues, this is definitely an increase. He went from someone that you didn't want to have on your team to someone you would actually consider starting in a running back 2 or flex spot, no question about it. So Leveon Bell will not be playing this week against Buffalo, but he will play against Denver, and then the next week they play the New York Jets, believe it or not. So in DFS, and if you have him, I'm playing Leveon Bell in every spot. He got away from Gase, and now that he has to face Gase, I wouldn't be surprised if he has over 100 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns, maybe against the Jets. That'll be a rivalry game. That'll be a bring back game for Leveon, and I think it's going to be a disaster for the Jets in that game. So now, what do you do with Leveon Bell? If you have him, I've seen already in my fantasy leagues that people are selling Leveon. So depending on what you can get for him, I would consider selling Leveon as well. If you can get a running back 1 equivalent, like a potentially Antonio Gibson plus a good wide receiver, like I don't even know, Amari Cooper would be a great get right now with the question marks around the quarterback situation in Dallas, plus a pretty decent rookie running back. I would definitely sell Leveon Bell for that. But buying Leveon Bell, that's going to be the tough part, because there's a very good chance that he's a very solid running back, kind of what Kareem Hunt, why people were buying and drafting Kareem Hunt this year. He's the number 2, but he could be a good viable running back. He could get quite a few targets. He'd get 8 to 10 targets per game. Leveon Bell should be used in a second and third down role with that team. And Andy Reid, like I said, is going to get him work in space. He didn't have any space in the Jets. He didn't have any space in New York in that Adam Gase offense. Every single player, once he gets away from Adam Gase, has a good fantasy season, is successful. Started with Devontae Parker. You've got Kenyon Drake, who we thought was good last year, but this year isn't so good. Robbie Anderson is great without Adam Gase. So it's one of those things where it's like, now what do you do here? Leveon, for if you're going to buy Leveon, I would try to buy low, but right now you can't. I'm personally not going to buy Le'Veon Bell. I'm not someone that buys high. I'll be someone that buys low. Now, what to do with Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the next part about it. Clyde Edwards was a potential top 5 running back in the NFL. He had the ability and the touchdown upside because he's in the Kansas City offense to be an elite back. He hasn't really been showing that since week 1, but there was always the upside. Now with Le'Veon joining the crew and joining the back, his attempts are going to go they're going to go down. His targets are going to go down, and his ceiling is lowered. I still believe that Clyde Edwards has top 12 upside, but that top 5 upside is out of the question. Even if someone believed that it was still available, it's gone. It's gone. I'm sorry for Clyde Edwards owners. I still think you should not sell low on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You should potentially be buying Clyde Edwards at a discount. If you could buy the running back 20 right now, if people are low on him that thinks he's barely a running back 2, that's where I would buy Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And if you think that you can get the high end upside, maybe you sell him. But again, don't sell low. The perception on Clyde is low right now because Le'Veon joined the running back crew. But we saw LaShawn McCoy join that offense last year and really not be that impactful. Damian Williams still had some pretty decent games. Neither of those running backs were viable week-to-week starters until maybe the playoffs. But we've seen Andy Reid bringing these back. Le'Veon Bell is a big personality. He went to a team that he wants to win. So hopefully he kind of stays in line, does his job, doesn't put up a fuss if he doesn't get carries because he wants a championship, doesn't want to be released. I still don't know at this time what the contract details are. I could probably find out right now. If I go to my Twitter and check out Adam Schefter to see what the deal is, it's a 1-year deal with Kansas City. So that's all I know at this time. But I'm sure he signed for veterans minimum because the word on the street was that Miami was offering more money at him. But the chance of getting into the playoff season, even with Miami, are low. He would have had to sign a multi-year deal with Miami just to make it worthwhile, getting close to that $14 million per year. And I don't think Miami was even willing to spend that. So this is my instant reaction. This is crazy. Hopefully, I'm a Clyde Edwards owner in a couple leagues. I've got him in Dynasty. So, I'm not selling my Clyde Edwards shares, depending on what I could get or how desperate I am. So hopefully you take my advice. If you have questions, concerns, comments, drop it in the comments below. Follow us on Twitter at snap_fantasy and get us on Instagram, Twitter. I am Lando_FF, and we will see you next time. Thanks, guys.